Oh, and I've had an explosive 8 days, I suppose. It's been a relentless, relentless. Who knows what? I don't know where to start. Let me
Sounds
see.
fun.
I suppose it'll be the awakening process. It must be in context, I suppose, to put it in context. It all came from that dream I recorded about. In the dream, it was to look for a new set of runes. And it led to a web search in the dream, and it came up with black and white symbols, Celtic symbols, and wolves and stuff, in a t-shirt. Mm-hmm. And when I woke up, I followed on, and I went actually onto a laptop, and I looked at runes, and I didn't see any. But what jumped out to me at this point was the Hermetic Tarot deck from the Golden Dawn, the real ancient stuff, the old stuff, black and white. It popped right out at me to get, so I got it, and that kicked off into the alchemy and awakenings and Thoth and all the rest of it, where we were kind of going recently, and into just a mass of information. So I'm struggling to be able to start. It's like a mass dump of information, absolutely huge, going all the way back, and the magical workings of how all these elements worked and how to do it. Now I'm just remembering I'm very talented with these also. It's just remembering all these talents I've got with this stuff.
Maybe today you'll do a rune reading for me.
Rune readings and tarot readings, these tarots, and in combination, I was doing combinations with the runes because the runes are high level energies. And what I can do with this is do a small rune spread and then do a rune take, a few runes, which gives you the energy and the chance that go inside with your tarot card reading. Massive dumps of energy. Combinations or something like that. Combinations of that. So combining tarots and runes together was what I would do. Two disciplines and combined is what it gives me. Amazing. It's amazing.
What are you doing with the information?
What
are you doing with the information?
I'm practicing the tarots. I've done the tarot readings on myself and my friend, blew myself away with it. And my friend with the tarots, and I've got the rune spell casting where I'm putting sequence of rune chants to actually put in combinations of energies. Is what I'm doing. It affected my life. It truly is just already affected my life.
So give me some examples. Give me some examples.
Knowledge, finding a path, more energy, more clarity. Learning capacities are up big time.
What is some information that you went into the tarot or the runes for that you came out with? So give me an example of the questions that you're asking going into a reading and some of the answers you've gotten back in return.
Well, this main reading I've got, I'll do the second one. I'm looking at this right now. It's been sitting in front of me since yesterday, configuring it all, because I've got to learn astrology as well, and I'm looking at this. This is amazing. So I asked the question, where is this learning taking me? And the first card, I got 5 major big cards on the first spread that I do, and that was the universe, which is perfect balance, combining all the energies. Mm-hmm. The tuner for that is the Emperor, knowledge, power, focus. And then what am I doing now? What's happened to me now is death, which is transformation, new beginnings, really coming up. So these are major cards. These are major energy cards. Okay, that leads into the Empress, which is what did I say? That was confidence and clear thinking. That is backed up. I got the Justice card, which is truth and strength. Also balance. It's got the yin and yang and all that stuff on it, balancing all these new energies that's coming. Into the King of Wands, which is knowledge of spiritual, my being, basically my being's passion, which is doing this, which is true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a link of energies, where I'm going, and it's described everything I'm going through as is, what's happening into the future as I basically transform up. That's amazing things. So spot on, I can't believe it. That's led me into the Hellenic tradition, or Thoth, basically, which I've already had Thoth before. And I did do a prayer with Thoth. I've got my black book here. So this came from the Emerald Tablets. And I did this prayer rituals. I did these invocations. And basically, this is a book this is a book of Thoth and Hermits and alchemy. It's even got quite a bit of stage I'm on in my process as well out of it. The actual stage, the actual the spiritual stage, stage 4 I got. So what I got out of that was the psychological, alchemical, astrological arcana, transformation and transmutation of consciousness and soul, and the 7 stages of change, or the 7 stages of alchemic awakening, in the spiritual sense of it. So I've got that. And it gives you the actual 7 stages of an awakening process that people would probably face when you start from scratch. Mm-hmm. Your ego dissolved. No, the 7 stages. It's amazing knowledge. So I'm in stage 4 according to this. It describes it perfectly. It's even described my journey perfectly. That must be spot on. I don't know. I don't know where to start.
Are you journaling?
I'm working. You could say journaling, yeah. I'm taking the information, understanding, and putting it into an order, into my book of orders here, and structuring all the.
So let's hear an entry from your journal.
A journal? I wouldn't say this a journal. These last days have been learning. But I've got a little book. Several books. These are all, my journals are all practices, or teaching practices. The same as this little book's the same. It's full of drumming, chants, structures in the journal, Reiki, wheels. It seems that that's one. This came in a dream as well. This one, I'll start this one. And this was an awakening sequence in combination with 6 steps, a 6-step practice in modern neo-shamanism. A 6-step practice it gave me. So your first step would be the nature of the universe itself, understanding everything is energy, webbed life force consciousness, awareness, all that is. That's the whole system. Having awareness that everything's one thing. That's your first step. Learn that first. Then the job of the shaman, medium, and in between the realities of the physical and non-physical, interconnected, and an interpreter between the 2 worlds for those seeking, perhaps. That's your job. A healer, psychologist, a messenger. Third step would be affecting and manifestation via interaction with the energies, which coincides with all the rest of the work I've got, how to work with elements and your chants, putting in specific energies for specific purposes, things you want to accomplish, you just do that chant for that particular thing, or beings you want to connect with, their energies, whether it's elemental energies or spiritual energies, guides.
Are you working with chanting?
I'm working with that one. I did a spell cast, and I'm working with the 3 chants I'm doing, which is Isa for strong individuality.
Can I hear it?
Yeah, sure. I was just 4. I was 4. Here, my hands. So a spell cast. These are chants I would do for people. This is something I would do for you. Do a reading and then give you a sequence of chants. In sequence. So the first chant is an interlocking. This sits in the centre, interlocks. And that's called Jera. You just sound Jera out, which would be Jera. That means to interlock the next 3 energies, so you're going to get a combination, and you just sound these out. So Isa is strong individuality, ego, healthy, and that's chant. Linked into El Hajj, that's hands up to, that's shamanic. I want this. I want to channel the both energies. This is channeling the heaven and the earth energy. This is the shamanic one, the hands up shamanic. And that's and then Tiwaj, that's that'll be Odin. That's a big that's your first eight spirit. That's big high domain. That'll be Odin or whatever your top deity would be, Ra or something. That's who you'd be calling in. That's the energy you'd be calling in. And this sounds like T in combination.
So those stones are those runes?
Those are runes. Those are ancient symbols that were brought back by the shaman. The shaman was Odin. He was a shaman. He died in his tree and he came back. He was given these symbols and chants and sounds from the sources, the larger sources. That's where these came from. And these are the runes.
So when you do the chanting, do you do a rune draw for yourself and you chant those names, or yeah?
Okay. I did a tarot card and then I did a rune draw for myself, and that's the three combined I got.
Okay, and so you would combine those and you would say each of those, and then do you do a certain amount of repetitions?
3 so far. I work in 3s.
Okay.
So it'll be 3 deep breaths, and then I'd chant the sequence of the energy. Big deep breath, and again 3 chants. Just 3 times. Everyone works in 3s. The 3's the magic number. So everyone works in 3s, no matter what you do with this stuff. 3 breaths, 3 chants. But you could chant it all day. One of the big practices with this is to chant 1 rune every day, a month each. Take about 2 years to chant the 24. And that would bring every single layer of every energy in over a 2-year period into your life. That's the big one I'm going to start. I'm working out the courage to do it because these are transformational, at least. So yeah, these are big ones. That's where I'm heading down, the chanting.
What is the experience following the chanting of the sounds? What kinds of experiences do you have from that?
These are split into 3 types. The first 8 is your physical. So you can chant Fehu would bring you abundance, security. That would start bringing abundance. You secure your physical life first.
Let me ask the question in a different way, because I want to know what you're experiencing following each of these chants. Do you ever break into a new level?
I haven't pushed it far. What happened when I chanted the El Hajj, I got exactly what I chanted for, and that was to connect and bring that knowledge in. That's exactly what I got out of that. That's just where it's leading to all this stuff.
So do you ever start channeling or automatic writing, or bringing in
automatic writing before? I've got lists of automatic writing, but not recently. This is just information. I'm just guided to information in a sequence of synchronicities, learning. And when I look at something, I have immediate understanding what that meant and how that worked, and structure of everything else I've got. It's like piecing together a massive bit of knowledge, just coming in.
What I'm trying to figure out is what you're doing with it. Are you just letting it sit in your body, or are you writing it down, compiling it into larger structures, sharing it with other people? What's your plan to get the energy out into the atmosphere of the world?
This is what the learning sequence is. This is what the big books are. As I learn all the energies, how these energies truly worked, and all their facets. If you understand, it's a practice. I'll be doing a practice, it's leading to a practice, but a multi-layered practice with multiple elements, incorporating just with every teaching in there in one practice, one unique combination of practice.
Mhm.
It's where this is leading to. Is drumming out. Everything's involved in this one practice. The whole lot's getting involved, and it's to
Okay,
share with
teach
multiple
me.
groups. Huh?
Teach me.
Teach.
Do a here we're live. We are recording. Do a rune reading for me. Just a real basic, maybe simple rune reading.
A rune reading. Okay.
Uh-huh. And then let's chant the sounds. Teach me what they are, and we'll chant them.
These are giving my cards. I was doing the tarots. The tarots. These are even more magical for the knowledge you can get out of those. That's amazing. Let me see. I need a lot of stuff for this.
Ah.
There's a lot of stuff I could. I've still got advanced stuff to come in. It's advanced rune chart. That's that we see up there. That's the rune. That's a wheel I was using a big reading. And you do the 3/8 of a 9 elements of your consciousness gets played into that. So I've got all my wee charts and stuff that I use. So massive amounts of things. Okay. So what you would do is just think of your question.
Okay.
What you'd like to know. Really think about it. But don't tell me what the question is.
One moment. Okay, so what my consciousness is keying in on right now is movement and moving, physically moving. And so I'm going to ask if there is an upcoming physical relocation coming for me. And if so, if the stones could tell me about it.
Okay. So what we do is you're going to take 3 deep breaths. For each breath, I shake these up,
Okay.
and then I pull them. So everyone happens in 3. So for each breath you take, I'll shuffle for Odin, Vili, and Ve. It's your 3 centers, the 3 powers, at the 3 levels, the 3 breaths. So
Say them one more time. Odin.
Odin is your high divine. Your navel is Vili, your energy, your power.
Veli.
Veli. And Ve is your sacred center, your being here,
Spell this.
the heart. Ve, V-E, Ve. Yeah, I'll get right spelling. Ve. Odin, Vili, and Ve. Let me give you the right one. Just make sure my spelling's right.
V-E. Ve.
V-E, Ve. Yeah, Ve.
Just V.
Yeah, V.
Okay.
Odin, Vili, and Ve. And that links to the 3 runes, that the 3 8s. Each 8 is a certain part of yourself.
Okay. Odin, Vele, and Ve.
Yeah.
I have it. Okay, I'm ready to breathe.
Okay. In through your nose and hold it, and that's it.
Do I just hold?
No, let go, sorry. Just in, deep breath, then
Because I
out.
can hold for a long time.
I was wondering how long you'd hold it for.
There's 2.
Out. Third breath. shoe. You ready? I'll do a lot now. That shoe you can relax.
Yeah.
And it'll guide you in here. So what I do, this one is the first rune I get is 4 runes. The first one is a teacher rune. So this concerns what the next runes are going to be. And it's giving you Fehu, which is all about money or things you have, things you may need. That's a teacher. It's referring specifically to that area of your life. So if you're going to do a move, that I suppose finances is going to come into it. See in the chart. Okay. Eyes. Second 8. Because I'm distracted with so our past coming into your present, transformation coming into your past energy. So a transformation, yeah, it's a change, a transformation at all levels coming in, a shamanic initiation of your past coming through into your present energy. Definitely changes coming up, big ones. You've got divine mind. That's divine and connection with your higher mind in your present moment. So your guidance is flowing through well. If you're getting guidance into what you're doing, that's your divine mind. Listening to one's higher self. And you've got coming into your future, you've got Tiwaj, which is victory in what you're doing. That's the big one. That's victory, success, victory, justice, power, authority. So if you're doing your move, this would be good. Listen to your guidance, flowing through into success when you do so. Financially, this would be very, very good. A good move financially, if that's your question.
You drew 4 stones. Yeah,
4 stones. The first stone is a signifier or the teacher rune, which is referring precisely, or an actual precisely part of yourself, a part of your life specifically it refers to. And
Can
that's
we see it? Can you put it up?
I can't have that. I'll try and put it, because they're black, I'll try and put it in white for you to see it properly. I'll show you how it looks. I need to I've got stuff coming, I've got mats and stuff coming for you to sit on properly. I haven't got them yet. I'll show you them. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? That's,
yes, hold it right there. Hold it right there. One moment. Okay.
got it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you pick up those stones just one at a time and like put them right up to the screen?
So this is Fehu.
That was the last stone?
That's the first one, teacher stone.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you the first one, I'll give you it in order.
Fehu.
So that's
okay.
Fehu, signifier, that's resources, basically that refers to basic resources. It was chanted in the olden days for cattle, and they've got resources and energy to do your work. Let's get a right name for that. Sounds this one. I don't get this one much, to be honest. You want the names as well, yeah?
Yeah, just hold each one up one at a time and just say the name.
Right, I get the right one. Don't memorize it. Because a lot of them sound the same. I've got to get it right saying El Waj. Right, okay.
El-Waj.
El Waj. That's El Waj.
El-Waj. Okay, and that one again signifies what?
That was your past. That signifies transformation, shamanic initiation. That'd be powerful energies you'd be getting in there, coming through and through.
Transformation.
Transformational energy coming in from your past as it flows through.
Mm-hmm.
That's a transformation. And then you have your divine mind. That's a stota. Let me see what chart is. What I've never done with someone is a full 9-reel spread. I've never done the full wheel with someone. I've only ever done the small ones like that, but I've never did that's a psychological one. It goes for ego and all the rest of it. I've never did that yet. It's mega, mega complicated. I've got much to learn. So, manage. This is your present. This is divine mind. That's called manage.
Manage.
That's divine mind.
Okay.
So when you're reading that, just refers to the interpretation. Higher mind, higher mental functioning, opening of spiritual centers in the brain, artistic or mental fulfillment, good connections, good thinking, higher thinking, or transferring into your present energy.
Channeling higher consciousness.
Higher functions, yeah.
I know I very much already know what the moving is going to be about. And you tagged it. Those stones tagged it. That's fascinating.
Oh, they're spot on. They're spot on. These ones are high level. These ones, so that it does for your kind of physical world, but these are more concerning the higher levels. These are high level energies, the runes. So you all get your big stuff coming through you. If you're on this journey, I've never done it with somebody on that journey before, you probably will get told what exactly what that is through the runes. And Tiwaj is the first to the third day. That's victory. Tiwaj was the ancient god Teal. Or Teal, it used to be called a very, very ancient energy, this one. Very big ancient energy, this one. In your readings, it refers to success, victory, justice and power, authority and legal victories. But this was the god of manifestation, power, transformation, spiritual transformations. Massive, massive rune, that one.
Can we see that symbol?
Oh, sorry, that's an arrow. It's Tiwaj.
Tiwaj.
Tiwaj. That would be the start of your big spiritual journey, major spiritual stuff. That's all victories and a good that's actually a very good reading you got. Very good one. That's just a wee small one. But
when I first started going out of body, in one of my OBEs, I was visited by Odin.
Odin, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Yeah. That's Odin. The shaman of the shaman.
Yeah, I have a strong connection to Scotland. Even as a child, I thought one of the first places I ever want to go, if I only ever get to go to one place, it's going to be Scotland.
Yeah.
Now that was as a child. It's not where I would go now, but as a child, yeah. Scotland's full of the Fae and the elemental kingdom. I know exactly why I was thinking that's where I want to go.
That's one of the most amazing things I learned recently. Just how many different locations Scotland has for magical energies like that. It's all over the place, the Celts. And when I did something with Susan, she found my guide, and she was a druid. All the druids, my light bearer, she called it. Your light bearer's a big cloak and a staff and a big buff spear ball called Margaret, my light bearer or something. I've not met her yet, but because I sit and do that in my hands with energy, she goes, yeah, they used to link, she's waiting on you, she's been coming to you, waiting on you to link up the energies. So that's where I'm heading with my upper parts. That's all druids and Celtic stuff. And then I found something interesting just yesterday. Is it the Philonians, a very ancient culture. The affected is it Philonians. Kind of, I wrote it down. But anyway, apparently the Scottish and the Irish are descendants of this ancient group that affected the Egyptians and the Greeks. This old race that's all connected in Scotland, the Scottish blood and stuff. So more parts of my ancient self and whatever connections I've got in this kind of life as a Scotsman, a lot of links to all these magic. No wonder I've got so much stuff coming at once. I have so many different connections in my past and stuff like that. So just learning, there's so much to learn and put it together.
Yeah, I would love to pick up the runes. You know, anything that has anything to do with stones. Of course, I'm going to be all over.
You've got connections with Anunnaki and the Sumerians, right? There's a Pacific rune that, and it refers to the giants, as it's called, and it's called Therisage. What is it? This rune might be exactly for you. This must be exactly for you. This will link to the past. This was used. I'll need to write this down for you again. This was used to find them. Symbol. There it is. Therisage is the Celtic. This was actually mentioned with the Sumerians. This Pacific rune, and it was on there's a tablet with a symbol, and I've got something very much like it as well. And it refers to Therisage linked to the Sumerians or the giants. Therisage is linked to the giants realm, or that world of the giants. That's exactly what that rune refers to. So if you're interested in the runes, I reckon that would be the rune for you. I reckon that would be your rune. Because these are ancient. God knows how long all these are. Wait till I show you that wee symbol I had. This came to me in a weird way as well. And I was looking at sound frequencies, what patterns get made with sound. And Sumerians showed it in a tablet, this design. And I came across this just randomly, this design here. A little bit different, but if you put sound in, you've got a pattern of a sound, that's something that you're going to get out of it. And it was linked to something with the Sumerians or the Anunnaki, something like that. In combination, it was sitting with that symbol, these two together. That's how the Therisage and that symbol was, it both referred to in the same bit. Hold them up there
again. Hold them both up together. Yeah. Hold them there. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. But that's a pattern from sound. This is non-physical energy and a pattern designed. It's amazing. Slightly different at the corners, but that cross design with the circle and a dot is absolutely precise. I was like, wow. And I just happened to have it sitting there as well. Like, what's freaking my mind? And Therisage was specifically mentioned along with that to refer to the giants, where these giants were. Yeah, these two together.
You have me interested.
Maybe that was for you. Maybe that's
you have my interest piqued. Well, just with the stones itself, just with the runes, ever since we first met visually the first time, and you began talking about the runes. Yeah, my interest has been piqued ever since.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten around to actually been able to look into it yet, but yeah, maybe today.
Yeah,
maybe today.
If you've met Odin,
growing. You've
interacted with Odin, man. These are powerful energies he brought back and introduced into the people. See, these are even the masters I learned from with this. Even he's like, man, I've got a lot there, but there's still more to these symbols and energies that go beyond what we're going to understand with them. It's massive.
I love learning new languages, and yeah, the runes is something I haven't, dove into yet. So.
This is described as the language of the gods themselves. That's the gods' language.
Yeah.
These are energetic, universal, create and destroy sounds. a language that they done with, call them the gods, but yeah, a language of things. Yeah, amazing. Energy symbols, energy sounds. But I'm still learning. I'm just grasping. I've been doing this for a few months, grasping the extent of that. It's massive. It's massive. But learning the tarots as well, getting this tarot deck and stuff on top.
What is it that that brought in the tarot for you? Because I know you were focusing on the runes.
The tarot came to me because of my interest in Thoth, alchemy, and Hermeticism. Hermetics. And I came across the tarots because of that dream about looking for a new set of runes. And I'm quite attached to my set of runes. They're carved in obsidian crystal. These are obsidian runes I've got. But what it was, when I went down, I scrolled down, this deck of cards was banged right out at me for the tarot. And it's they're black and white, the same as the vision I got of symbols that would be black and white for me. See, these are all black. That's the magician, actually. These are black and white, but they're full of energies and symbolization in there. It's hermetic. It's very ancient, based on Thoth, the Golden Dawn systems.
What is the deck called?
The Hermetic deck. Hermetic deck.
Just the Hermetic deck.
Hermetic deck.
Okay. I like the black and white.
Black and white, because in the olden times it just done with shade. So they're traditional, very traditional magical cards, going right back into ancient knowledge, way back into Egypt. These things, the symbolizations used, a lot of the Ankh and everyone's in these things. Amazing. I wear the Ankh as well. I wear that. And this triggered, well, that triggered astrology. It triggered the symbols and signs of astrology, the energies of the universe, the understandings of alchemy, which then led on to getting these paths, life lessons based on how the elements would affect you in a life lesson. The ordeals of the elements as we experience physical life, and the experience you may have. If you're getting a lesson from an element, this is what the experience you're looking for. So air would be, we face the loss of what we love. Whatever gives us material or possessional security, you'll lose it. The tests are psychological mobility, attachment, capacity for withstanding great adversities, and detachment from material things. Dream signs for this would be dreams of falling on the edge of a cliff, or find yourself in high places. It would be a sign that you're getting a element. It's not in the astro or these lessons. You might remember it in a dream or a vision, and you might get things like that.
You just reminded me of another recurring dream I used to have all of the time. I haven't had it in the last decade, but prior to that, I had it a lot, especially between the ages of 20 and 40. And I was on the edge of a cliff, literally hanging off the edge of a cliff. And I look up and I'm standing up on the cliff also, and I'm reaching for myself. I used to have that all the time, slightly different scenarios. I'm driving up into the mountains with friends, and, I walk to the edge of the cliff and I somehow slip, and there I am hanging off the edge of a cliff, and I come to help myself or reach for myself. Yeah, interesting. So that's
I've had once where I was hanging on the side of a cliff with my fingernails, looking down. It's hanging right on the edge of it. Oh my, it was terrifying.
Mm-hmm. In this experience, I'm not terrified. It's interesting. I'm not terrified. I can feel it.
I was scared of heights for a long, long time. I'm terrified of heights. But this is back as a little boy. These dreams I had of heights. And my very first memory was, that old children's nursery about the pea in the mattress. All these mattresses is a pea. But I had a dream like that. I was in the middle of a city, on top of must be hundreds of mattresses, and it's swaying around in the wind, and I'm clinging on for dear life. Way up the skyscrapers, man. That was terrifying. But heights. But this refers to his lessons you'll get in the astral plane, and refer to the elements and how to deal with
the other elements. Air.
Yeah, so that was a lesson of air.
Mm-hmm.
Next one's fire. So what will happen in life for these lessons will be We will be persecuted, wronged, criticized, blocked, obstructed, betrayed in order to arouse anger. You're getting, prompted to be angry. The test, it's to test our temperament, serenity, and sweetness. So you're being deliberately provoked to test how you're going to react. Are you going to get angry, or are you going to go, okay? Deliberately testing your emotions. It's brilliant. That's your dream tests. I can relate to a lot of these things. The dream tests you get, it's amazing.
I can relate to them also, yes. Continue.
Dream vision and signs for that would be dreams of fire and flames. You've got a lot of fiery flames. That'd be a dream sign. Visions you would get. Water. Our circumstances will change radically. That's what that says. It tests our fluidity, adaptability, altruism, and I meant to look this bloody word up. Philanthropy. Philanthropy. What does that mean? I meant to look it up. I don't know what it means. Philanthropy.
Well, like a philanthropist is someone who's off doing his own thing, and supports financially other endeavors of other people, but all on his own. He doesn't have
right. So I'll test
somebody telling him what to do. He's
right.
Sovereign.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. The dream signs and visions for that would be drowning, raging waves, seas and floods. That's actually dreams or visions you would get if you're getting a water ordeal. Earth, that would be, we will be obstructed, have no way to proceed with our goals, be restrained or weighed down. And that's to test our solidity, perseverance, and ability to deal with inconveniences. The dream signs and visions would be of being crushed between boulders or mountains, buried alive, climbing a mountain, or rolling down a mountain. Would be a sign or a vision you may get in the dream. I think these are brilliant lessons. I think these little insights into dream lessons, dream tests that we all get, insights. But when these things are taking place, what you would do, you would use the corresponding element that would nullify. Like if it was getting fire, you would use the water element, think water elements, and deploy water against the fire to nullify anything bad in life.
It's interesting that you bring that up, because that is my dreaming exactly from last night.
This is how it looks, isn't it?
I'm sort of out for a drive, and in the dream, I'm both local in the car, out for the drive, but I'm also viewing from overhead, looking at the scene that's going on down below. So I have the two visions, and it's a rainy day, and as I'm out for the drive, I begin seeing fires in people's homes. So it's raining, and people's homes I think are on fire. Yeah.
Amazing.
So I balanced whatever was happening. You could also think of fire and water as the male and female elements.
And the female, yep.
Yeah. Well. Fire being male, water being female. Yeah.
Massive lessons, massive understandings coming in.
And I had water on top of fire, so the positions of them are important too. So when you have the water above and fire rising, it would mean one thing, but if you reversed it, it would mean another. Yeah, it's interesting. Symbols are fascinating. I've never taken a lot of time to, with my cognitive faculty, quote, understand them or come to a cognitive view of what was happening. I just sort of integrate the feeling.
It feels that's one way I do it. We're all different, do it different ways.
Yeah, there's some things that I dive into in more detail and with more of my cognitive faculty. But for the most part, in my dreams, I'm just trying to get the basic layout of the land. As it were. Which field am I in? Because when I start doing that, I find that I'm actually in multiple fields, and then I start going out.
So it's
So the details, like I let a lot of the details go by, whereas most people focus on the details.
focusing on the details. Yeah,
Yeah, the details are
I'm a
fun.
mix.
I mean, I definitely would like to have the expanse to be able to hold both, you know,
I
the
think it should.
multiple
It
fields and
actually
the
comes from
fundamental,
practice.
you know,
Yeah.
the essence of what's happening on top of, you know, the details and what they mean and what I can do with them. Not quite there yet. No.
It's a lot to learn. It's a lot to so there's so much. I'm blown away if I just I've got sitting there. Like,
The
it'll take me
language of the
years.
fields is fascinating. You know, we function almost purely on details here in physicality, but in the other fields, you know, it's less detail and more conceptual. And the more
Uh,
finer the fields, you get into where it's just, you know, pure awareness, pure observation. Then perhaps what I would call the concentric rings, the concepts within concepts within concepts, and then into the
that's what I
details
got
of
as
the
well. Yeah.
physicality. Mm.
There's not really a conversation. It's more you send concepts each other. Is how the communication work mostly.
Mm.
Other than this, this is like Morse code. But
So I'm
yeah,
just letting you know, we just have a couple minutes to go here because the ET contact room is opening.
okay.
So I don't know if you want to come to that or if anybody else is coming to that, but I'll just sort of
Yeah,
mention that we've got about
yeah,
2 minutes. So if there's
no
anything
problem.
you want to say to round this one up.
One question I have, and that's is doing numbers and the siblings. And I meant to ask you, what is the significance of five siblings, the five, number five, and the five siblings? Because that has just started to kick into my life. You know how when I first spoke, that was kind of separated. Well, that's united up. I'm united like that. My brothers are all united up last week as this. My family connections have suddenly came together like that, all in
Mm.
one thing. I was wondering, what is the significance of the five siblings?
Let me ask, are you saying siblings?
The five siblings and number five as well. The
Yeah,
first of
I
the
have.
five siblings.
Yeah, I have five siblings also. There's five. Well, it's interesting. There's a long story. Anyway, five. Um, you know, for me, just really essentially, it signifies the earth.
The earth.
Uh,
Aye.
it's an earth. It's an. For me, that's what it signifies. Uh, Within that, there are other concepts. For instance, conflict.
Conflict. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. It's getting resolved now. That's amazing. It was amazing. Susan added me to that grid she did. If you remember the grid she designed, this new free grid design. Well, she added me in there and activated it, and all this
Mm.
kicked off my family. As if all my life just went came in together like that. It was amazing. What an amazing week I had with that.
Yeah.
But it seems that it's not just affected me; it affected everybody that I was connected with in my life and brought us all together in a winner. It was an amazing thing it did. I can't say for sure what happened, but it all coincided with her activating that grid and put me into the grid, and all
Yeah.
sorts of things have come into my life. Good things, fantastic things.
I can tell that a lot has happened since the last time we talked together in this group. This was super fun. Let's do this again.
Yeah, just was,
maybe
I can
even
skip
maybe even
those.
let's do it and invite a few people
Yeah.
so you can have some practice doing the runes.
I get nervous because I'm not used to dealing with people doing it. I get a bit nervous because I'm not used to it,
That's
you know.
one of the things that has been absent from this talk. You're talking far more clear, you're conceptualizing more clear. I
I
can, even though I can feel
feels
the
that way.
excitement. And on that, I have to go ahead and I have to
Yeah.
shift over to that room and I have to go to the bathroom.
Jump in. I'll probably just listen because I've nothing much to say about the ET contact on the lights I get, but it'd be good to hear these guys talk. Maybe